Pastor Kathy has impacted my life in a positive manner. He's challenged me both in my personal as well as in my professional life. Personally, he's challenged me to be a better person overall, helped me develop in areas in which I felt I wasn't as strong as I like to be. Professionally, he gave me an opportunity to serve at West Point Church, where I've been serving in various titles since 2006.
Pastor Kathy has impacted my life by challenging me to let me know that good is not good enough. I was so used to being good and was okay with that, but he's been challenging me and all the rest of the staff to be great, and that's just been an unbelievable challenge, but I really, really appreciate that.
Pastor Marcus Kathy has impacted my life just by being an example of what God has set for a man of God to be. I can find it very tiresome and troublesome to walk in his shoes, but he does it just so graciously every day. And to be the man that he is for us, having to, sacrifice time with his family and come and take care of his sheep, us, I just find that very impressive and impacting to me, because so many pastors do not have those relationships with their flock. And to have a personal relationship with Pastor Kathy has a great impact as well, because I know I can also go to him not only as just my supervisor, but as my pastor and as a man who can understand some of the things that I'm going through.
I guess one of my most profound situations, I hadn't been on the job 3 weeks full time. I started full time the Tuesday after Labor Day, and I guess 2 weeks was in. I'm kind of like feeling like, what do I do day to day? Because this is a new experience for me. And so one day I was leaving the office. It was a little late. I was going through some songs and stuff. I was leaving. Matter of fact, got in the car, was about to leave, and Miss Cassandra runs out and said, Senior Pastor wants to see you. And I'm like, oh Lord, am I in trouble? So he brought me in. He didn't want to talk about anything really about service. He just wanted to know how I was doing, And first thing he asked me, he said, have you cried yet? Have you cried about the loss of your parents? And I was like, wow. Besides all of the excellence that he expects out of us, his staff members, he still cares about us individually. And I mean, that was profound. We sat in his office for almost 2 hours just chopping it up about, just about life, where I was. I'm 41, and I'm a grown man. And I'm sitting over here like I'm on the couch. But it was needed. It was pastoral. It was so brotherly. It was so one-on-one. And I just really appreciate that moment.
But he has impacted my life in a major way. And because when I think about how his role as the senior pastor, not only of the staff and leading us, but leading the congregation, and even with people in the community who are watching and people who don't necessarily have connection with him, but they see him and they see his life, how even that plays a role in leading people to a closer walk with Christ, even indirectly. It just amazes me.
Pastor Kathy's details, he's very detailed, which has also played a huge part of my life. I've never met anyone who is as detailed as Pastor Kathy, but I love it. I love the challenge, and it has challenged me to just to be a better person, to be a better administrator, be a better leader, and I appreciate he calls it sometimes fussing, but I appreciate the time that he allows to pour into you and to teach you those details step by step. He knows exactly what he wants, and he knows how to get it out of the individual.
One of my fondest memories of Pastor Kathy is when I was applying for the job and I did the harsh interviews, very intense, and anyway, so I did that, and before I had the job, I did lunch with Pastor Kathy. and it was just him and myself, and we went out to, he asked me, he said, what do you want to eat? I said, this is Mississippi. I said, I want something bad, because I've heard the food's really good. And he was like, okay now. And so we went to Letha's, the barbecue place, and it was just amazing. And it was kind of funny because we went to his house. He's dropped something. He's like, hey, I forgot something at my house. I was like, okay. So he pulls in the garage and he just leaves me in his car at his house, and he's in the house and I'm in the garage in his car, and I'm like, I was like, okay, I guess he trusts me that I could just easily leave and take this car, but I know, pray for me. But I thought that was just showing the type of person he is. I'm just trusting, and for me to say who I am. Anyway, we had a great time, and at the end of the whole lunch, when we were driving back, I asked him, I said, is there anything else you want to know? And Pastor Kathy, he was like, no, I have a good idea of who you are. And I was like, what does that mean? Who am I? And all that. But it was just a great time to just spend one-on-one with Pastor. It was a blessing. It was amazing.
At the beginning of the year, we did the Biggest Loser. He was on my team for the first leg, and the second leg, we got a chance. We had a wild card. We had a chance to change up our team. So he was encouraging me to. He was encouraging me to pick a certain player and to remove somebody off our team. I guess a dead leg, and what I ended up doing was kicking him off my team. So he was very, very upset, but it pushed him to lose 15 pounds, and his team won. I only lost 2 pounds, and my team lost. So I think that's a very fun memory of Pastor Kathy.
This came when I went to my first retreat for as a staff. Now, this was the closest experience I've had with Pastor Kathy at this point. And when I saw him, I'm used to seeing Pastor Kathy all together on stage, all professional, all dressed nice and things of that nature. But when we get in this room and as we're going into the wee hours of the night, I began to see this weird side of Pastor Kathy. He would get up and he was yawning, took his shoes off, laid on the floor, was making all types of sounds. And it was just blowing my mind that this guy that I see on Sunday mornings was so awkward. But it was cool, man. I appreciate him being comfortable with him enough to let me see that side of him, because it was around that time that I began to see Pastor Kathy as a man and also my pastor, to see that he had quirks and he was different. But that was funny to me, but I'll never forget that first encounter with him.
This always comes to my mind. One of my fondest memories is when I first started working here at West Point. I was always so intimidated by his presence. Even when he'd call the front desk, my heart would just beat like double time, only to discover that he has a gentle manner about himself, and that many of us might not know that about him.
Yes, sir. We were sitting around talking about just young people in general and the things that young people say. We were at lunch one time, and he's just like, so what do you think? Like, how do you reach them? And we were just talking about different ways to reach them and different things that young people say. So we start using some terms and stuff like that. And I found it so funny that he knew some of the terms that I was talking about. So I don't want to put him on blast right now, but he knew the terms that I was talking about. I said, okay then, Doc, turn up. So it was great that he understood where our young people are and his vision, his passion to see them come up to a level of impact. So to know that he's aware, that was phenomenal for me, Doc.
Thank you, Pastor, for doing everything that you can to make sure that we're equipped with the tools that we need to be better Christians. And just thank you for allowing me to work in the preschool ministry.
I would say to him, continue doing what God has called you to do. Don't give up on that. You've impacted a lot of people's lives. You're developing leaders who are going out to impact other people's lives. I would say continue doing that.
Thank you. Pastor Kathy, thank you so much, man, for the opportunity to serve under a servant leader and how you have impacted my life so far. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to what God has in store for us.
Honor being on your team. It's been an honor telling people that I'm a part of such a great organization. And I'm just anticipating God to do some more and bigger things and making more and better disciples on this team. God bless you.